Sure. So yeah, what Vivek's referring to here, back in kind of the middle of graduate school for me, as I was thinking more about this problem of, how do we start to think about scaling robot learning? How do we also get some intuition on like, what really is the blocker? So this little exercise that I did was I was sitting at my desk in grad school, and I strapped a GoPro to my head. So kind of like very early, like egocentric data collection. So I strapped a GoPro to my head, and then I wanted to emulate as if my hands were just very simple, like robot grippers. So what I did is I grabbed, if you know like woodworking, like there's these clamps that people use, they're called Irwin quick grip clamps. I grabbed a couple Irwin quick grip clamps into my hands, and I just walked around the lab and tried to see if I am just emulating myself as a robot with robot hands, and I have these very simple grippers, like what can I accomplish in the world? And it's just a little kind of like thought experiment exercise. And so with the GoPro in my head, I recorded myself walking around and making myself an iced latte. And not in easy mode, making yourself an iced latte, like in hard mode, making yourself an iced latte, where I went to the freezer and I grabbed like ice cubes and I poured them out into a mug, and I closed, and then I spilled a bunch of stuff and I cleaned it all up. And then, then I also think it was one of the ice cube trays where I was using the last ice cubes, and my wife had trained me that like, if you're emptying the ice cube tray, you have to refill it. So I refilled the ice cube tray, and I put it back in the freezer.
Good citizen. Yeah.
Exactly. And then it was a little Nespresso machine, and I had to like open a drawer, and I had to open a new box of Nespressos, and I had to dump them out, and I had to like grab the little Nespresso capsule and orient, like hard mode, making yourself an iced latte. And it was all totally fine. And like we learn a couple things from that like exercise. One is that like pairing human level intelligence with even very simple, as you said, Vivek, end effectors, like you can really accomplish a lot in the world. And then it also like painted one path to, like we were talking about this problem where you walk around most robot labs and everybody's robots are just sitting still. Yeah. It painted a very obvious path to like, if we could just have tons of people that are effectively kind of sensorized, walking around, collecting this type of egocentric data, we could very quickly start to accumulate just vastly more data than we ever have had in robotics before. And then once you start to like have that initial kindling of what could then be like a self-perpetuating, sort of ability to just keep going. Once we have that initial kindling of like a sufficient amount of robotics data, then we feel like we would just be off to the races and we'd be able to figure out the models and everything else.